This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. You are your greatest asset. It's time you started investing in that. Visit betterhelp.com/double toasted and take care of you. The name of this segment, I'm going to put this on YouTube. I'm about to piss some more people off because I'm going to tell you, I don't give a what y'all think in that comment section, all right? And I'm going to tell you why. Because no matter what you say, no matter how fairly you try to come out or approach this, you can't win. Hey everybody, Double Toasted Live on tour is heading to Los Angeles, California, November 5th. We're going to be at the Miracle Room, and we had such an amazing show in New York, had such a great experience. I want to thank everybody for that, but we can't wait to bring the same experience to you over in the lovely city of Los Angeles. So go to x1entertainment.com and get your tickets today. VIP and super VIP tickets are available, so get them now. But we're not just stopping there. Hey, as I said, this is a tour. So also catch us in Chicago, Miami, Orlando, and Dallas, Texas. Again, go to x1entertainment.com and get your tickets today, and we'll see you at a city near you. Hey everyone, support our Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts.
Shit that I deal with. Yeah. And I was on a shit ton of painkillers.
Ooh.
And
So you was seeing shit.
She was tripping,
well,
man.
Here's the
She
thing.
was on that spice.
If I were seeing something, at least I could be like, oh, that's definitely in my head. I woke up in the middle of the night. Of course, you can't move.
Yep.
And I feel something tugging on my feet, but there's nothing there.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
So you thinking?
I felt like
you
tugging on my
believe
feet.
In the supernatural.
Was
I
it
mean,
the afterlife?
how you dream and you feel stuff.
Okay.
I'm sure it was something of that nature, but it was just crazy to wake up in my room.
Still scared to shatter you.
Yeah, it's still gonna scare you. I don't think I could sleep in that room for a few
If
weeks.
we modify the question, have you ever felt like a very close to death experience? I have way too many in my life. Like way too fucking
Don't
many.
even ask me about that.
Shit, both y'all need to get the fuck out of here. This is like some Final Destination shit. I don't
Yeah,
wanna
pretty
be here
much.
right now. Yeah. Why did you say that out loud?
The fan is just gonna fall.
Yeah,
You're
shit.
shit.
Death somewhere is right. Like what? No, get the fuck out of here. Hey, Death, I'm on time. All right, folks. We're going to have a little discussion right here, man. I want to address something. Now that I got you here,
Oh,
I want to talk about a little something because...
I think I know what it is.
You know what it is because last week you called me up and you said, Corey, whatever you do on YouTube for that Dave Chappelle review that you did for his comedy special, don't you dare go in there.
No.
You just stay out of there.
Yep.
This is Dave. 5 specials in as many years. How do you close a body of work that profound?
About pissing off the many trans and gay people as you can. Hey, listen, this is not me trying to go in and get defensive about anything. This is not me trying to go in and piss people off, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to piss people off even more. Let me just tell you some real quick background about this review in case you haven't seen it, in case you weren't there. Now, I believe it was a week and a half ago on a Wednesday night.
Yep.
We talked about this comedy special, the last one that he's going to do for a while on Netflix for Dave Chappelle, The Closer. And at that point, the controversy was already out there. Dave is very transphobic. Dave wants to go out with a bang. It was a lot of stuff that was said. So, all right, we come in and we do our review. And I even tell people, I say, listen, I don't even want to come in and really talk about this because I know what the reaction is going to be. But part of me wants to do it for that reason. And part of me wants to do it for that reason because the more I piss these people off, the more views we're going to get.
Oh, yeah.
And it fucking worked out that way. You fell into the trap. But I didn't do it solely for that purpose. I also didn't want to be afraid to come in here and give my opinion. As a quick recap, my opinion of the special was that Dave Chappelle, he's done a lot of comedy. Well, I say a lot. The last 3 comedy specials, I'll give him the George Floyd one, but okay, we'll go with the last 2. The Closer and then the one before that.
Yep.
I said, man, he's been doing a lot of ranting instead of telling jokes. And I get that, you want to bring You want to bring some honesty and some feelings into your comedy. You know, honesty is sometimes the best thing to do to bring to the stage for your comedy. But I said, man, you know, and it just seems to get more and more aggressive with each special. And this one I did say, I said, man, look, let's just go ahead and cut to the chase here. Those trans jokes that he told, I said, yeah, I did not think a lot of those were funny, man.
Yep.
I thought that he went on for about 2/3 of the show ranting instead of telling jokes. And because of that, I just didn't see the humor in that. Now, also, did I think that they were offensive? I think, yeah, the trans people, they could be offensive, man.
Yeah.
And so I guess I can't just, look, I can't sit up here and try to sidestep that. So I can't just say, yeah, trans people, yeah, they found it offensive. Did I find it offensive? Yeah, I found some of them offensive. Yeah. But what happened with that is, well, I don't know, because you told me I had to go to the chat or to the comment section. I did not look, but I get the feeling that people were like thinking that we want to cancel Dave. We're being too sensitive.
Yeah,
we didn't get it. We're not funny, so we don't. You know what do we know?
Yeah, pretty much. Especially like you guys are too woke. This channel used to have balls. That's the one that was like really like you were cool until you went PC. Like it's one of those things that I call you up because first off I get angry because I saw the show and I share a lot of your same opinions because to a certain point there were funny bits. There were really fucking funny bits there. And I'm not going to take that away. And he's a comedian. At the end of the day, he needs to have the freedom of speech. Like I tell people, it felt like Joe Rogan was on stage ranting. It's the same reason why I don't like Joe Rogan, because he was saying stuff that for him were facts. And some of those facts are incorrect.
The name of this segment, you know, I'm going to put this on YouTube. I'm about to piss some more people off because I'm going to tell you, I don't give a what y'all think in that comment section, all right? And I'm going to tell you why. Because no matter what you say, no matter how fairly you try to come out or approach this, you can't win.
Nope.
You can't win with nobody.
Nope.
I'm not talking about the people who got mad because they're defenders of Dave. Shit, trans people came after my ass.
Yep.
I had a couple of trans people telling me, who the f*** are you? You can't win with nobody. So you know what? The only thing I got from this is that if you're pissing off somebody, then you're doing something. Then you're saying something. If you don't laugh, then you're too sensitive, you're too woke, and you're a hater, and you probably want to cancel. If you do laugh, you're transphobic, you're an asshole, you're insensitive, you know, and I was somewhere in the middle. I was like, yeah, I found some of his trans jokes offensive. Mostly I found them offensive. I think they were funny. But the other part is that, hey, look, some of that shit was funny. And I'm sorry, some of that stuff that was funny is the stuff that you probably going to hate me for.
I am not saying that to say that trans women aren't women. Tastes like pussy, but that's not quite what it is it? It's not blood, that's beet juice.
You know, I play that again, I laugh at it. I just offended some people right there. But let's get to the point of what this is. First of all, this is for the people who are in the comment sections talking about, I don't like what you said. You're too sensitive. You know, leave Dave alone. I'm going to tell you something, man. Y'all, man, I'm going to say what I want to say because we're at a point right now where you can't sit up here and criticize or have a different opinion without somebody thinking that you're trying to cancel someone. Yeah. I never said that I hope they take Dave's Netflix special out. In fact, they just fired a transgender person who stormed a meeting because they wanted to, they were demanding that it be removed, the special. I ain't demanding that special be removed. I'm not somebody who is into censoring someone because I don't like it. I like some of the show and some of it I didn't. Just because I'm offended by something or just because I didn't find it funny doesn't mean that I'm trying to cancel Dave. And see, that's where we are, man. We can't ever be in the middle where it's like, well, just don't agree with it, you know?
No.
You either got to be all aboard or you got to or you have to be all against. And I don't get that, man. Yeah. And the other thing that bothers me is that Dave Chappelle, that's the problem. Like in this one instance, you know, it's just like people Dave Chappelle has had such a track record of greatness that now you're not supposed to criticize. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
For me, it's more of, I love Dave Chappelle. He's one of the few black comedians out there, that still is from the old good old days, from the aughts, from the 2090s. He's still there with us. And just the fact of the thought that if you watch Dave Chappelle, you're a bad person or you shouldn't watch it. People don't want their stuff taken away, even if that might be right or might not be right. There's a lot of defensiveness in saying, listen, what I consume as media represents who I am. And if you criticize him, you're criticizing me. And that's where I think a lot of that comes from.
Somebody said you just proved his point. How did I prove his? You just proved Dave Chappelle's point. How did I prove his point? He said, if you don't like what I'm saying, then just you can disapprove or don't watch or keep watching and just going about your business. I don't know what point he was saying, because the point was that
he said that same thing. He said not everybody's gonna agree with me. Okay. What?
Yeah. How is that proving his point? I didn't get to the point where I want to take him down.
Yeah.
And just because I disagree with him does not mean that I'm proving his point. The thing is that, let me bring up a point to your ass. Dave Chappelle got on stage and spoke his mind for an hour and gave his opinion and got paid for the shit.
Yep.
I'm speaking my mind. But it's one person's not, because one person you love and who's considered to be a legend, no, he can speak his mind because he's the GOAT. He's the great. He knows what he's doing. He's a professional. But don't you speak your mind because you're just a jealous hater. What you talking about?
Nobody is above criticism.
All those people in the comment sections talking shit, guess what? Ain't even mad at you. That is your freedom to sit up there. That is your choice. That is your opinion.
Yep.
Just the way I'm criticizing Dave and criticizing y'all, my living is made off of having opinions. And my opinions are not always popular with people. I get paid for them, but it's like, but they're not always popular. But you know what? If I can make my living by going out there and criticizing and having opinions, then you should be able to criticize me. If you don't like what I'm doing, hey man, that's a beautiful thing. I ain't even mad at you.
It also feels that people are treating the special like facts. Like what he says, if facts is what should be, especially with the modern times that we live in. And he even says himself, like, no, like he got a bunch of that terminology wrong at the beginning, and I don't get it, man. I really don't know.
Like you just said, you're in the business of criticism. You're not in the business of cancel culture or in the business of support culture, for that matter.
Yeah, I think that, look, there are certain points where if you cross a line, the court of public opinion is going to decide something. If you cross a line, then they're going to take you down. It's not always because of cancel culture. It's because you did something stupid and your ass got to go. But I'll tell you, and I do have my opinions. I have very unpopular opinions. Like I said, I thought some of the stuff that he said was ignorant. I think and here's something you're really going to hate. I think that if a white comedian was up there for 2/3 of his act going on the same rant about black people that Dave Chappelle did with trans people, what would black people be doing?
Canceling.
They would say, you gotta go.
Yeah.
We would be boycotting the Netflix.
Yep.
Just my humble opinion, y'all. I told y'all gonna make some of y'all even madder than you were before.
Like the LGBTQ community is very marginalized. As brown and black people, we're really, homophobic in a lot of the sense of the word. And we do get a pass in that hate, And
that's another reason why I thought this. I was like, man, I just didn't agree with the severity that he was saying. But that's the point, man. I just disagreed. I never got mad about it. I did a review. I didn't do a rant. I didn't do a boycott. I did a review. And then you know what? And like I said, the review was out there just like anything else to be criticized. So I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all. And I'll tell you where I learned that from. Because I told you, can't nobody win at this. But actually, we can. I don't think it's easy at all, damn near impossible. But we can. Because I told you, I got it from all sides, man. I had trans people coming after me talking about, well, you supported what he said here. You laughed at this. That doesn't do any good when you sit up there and support that part. And I was like, all right, and I had to actually, and I'm one person in particular, they're probably listening. And if you are, I'm not even coming at you, but I did put something out there. I said, hey, listen, I said, you saw one part of our review that pissed you off, and you disregarded all the other stuff that we said. But I didn't get mad at him. I didn't get mad at her. I said, hey, you know what? But I think if you would come at this with a different approach, you would have seen that we're people who are more supportive than hurting, and we could have had an actual meaningful discussion about this. We could have actually sat back and we all could have picked up something from this and learned something. But you process your anger like you want, and I'm cool with that. That I'm not one to tell you what to do. That person came back and said, wow, you know what? Being that we calmly and coolly sat up here and discussed this, both of us were like, wow.
Yeah.
This is the understanding conversation that we should have.
Because the problem is that when you talk about marginalized, communities, we're all, like Latino, brown, LGBTQ, whatever you want to say, we're always under so many attacks. We're always constantly defending ourselves. Then even if we truly believe in common ground, sometimes cooler heads do not prevail because we have grown up in this environment of hostility.
Wow. You should have seen my email because that's what I said. I said, understand how it feels to be a person where it feels like no one's listening, and that feeling is only further pushed by people of influence who go out there and say things that are ignorant, and I got it. I said, but we all have to be careful to sit back and not go at each other. I think about all those comments, man, and I never saw, but apparently some of them were kind of really angry and hostile and whatnot. That is your point to be that way. I have to be open to criticism of myself just like anybody else, even if I disagree with it. But I do say that one email from that woman, that trans woman, told me like, wow, if all of us could just sit back and not be so on the defensive and truly understand what everybody's talking about, we would actually be making more progress on things.
Yeah, because just the fact that when you say we're boycotting or canceling Dave Chappelle, it means that you're attacking a black artist, a black entrepreneur, somebody that has given back to the black community. But of course, also people are going to get offended, not only because of the material and the relation they have to their media they have consumed over the years, but also with the symbolism that he represents.
Yeah. The moral of the story is we can all disagree on something, and we'll know we need to push real hard. We'll know we need to remove something, but we can all disagree on things, and it doesn't have to go to extremes. We are so caught up on these labels. We are so caught up on the word cancel culture that when you say you disagree with someone, they automatically think that you're trying to get rid of them.
Yeah.
And that's not it at all, man. That's not it. That's not it at all. This is going to piss people off too. I don't think I think it's more harmful to remove that special.
Yeah, I also think
that you are falling into his trap.
Yeah, I think it should just be out there.
And I like one person saying, this is what I'm talking about. Hey, freedom of speech don't mean going to an airport and yell bomb at the top of your lungs.
Yep.
Things have consequences. Don't sit up here. Somebody in the chat was talking about, well, I come here all the time and speak my mind and I get suspended. Did you say something stupid and you say something personal to somebody? Then that.
Yep.
Everybody thinks freedom means I'm free to do whatever I like. All right, you go ahead. Take your naked ass over and walk into the middle of a schoolyard and start pissing and see if your ass don't get labeled a sex offender.
Your freedom begins where mine ends, or such is the lingo.
Yeah. Stupid ass. Don't come here with that. I get to do it. Hey, I get to do whatever I want to. Don't try to reverse that shit back. Don't say something stupid. That's all.
Yeah.
Don't attack anybody. You're free to have a different opinion. You're free to have a different opinion, express it to a certain extent. But don't come up here
here's the
attacking
thing.
anyone.
If people did feel uncomfortable, they did feel uncomfortable. You don't have any right to tell people how they felt.
Well, I think that good comedy often upsets people. So I don't think I'm being sensitive here. I think good comedy sometimes, it's not. This is an overgeneralized statement. Not all comedy, but a lot of good comedy makes people think and actually pisses people off sometimes. If you want to know my opinion, that's where I thought this fell. But also saying that same thing, I thought that, a lot of the stuff that I thought was cringy, I didn't feel offended because it was making me cringe. Sometimes when somebody makes me cringe, of course, when comedy, how many times you been to a comedy show and you've been like, damn, did he say that?
Oh, yeah.
Shit, she crazy, man. I can't believe that came out of her mouth.
Oh, yeah.
So I have nothing against, man, some of the best comedy is making people uncomfortable because people don't want to think. But, to me, there's a difference between, clever comedy that makes people uncomfortable in a rant. But that's not the point. The point is that it was just it was a critique, and it was something I didn't agree with. And we don't have to be crazy over those opinions where we don't want to counsel somebody, where we just have a disagreement. I learned, and that was reinforced by that email that I got. When I sat down, talked to that woman, things went so smooth. We had a one-on-one, and there was no yelling, no screaming, no personal attacks. You know, it was good. It was good, and it did start out as somewhat of an attack. Yeah. You know, but I didn't yell back. So yeah, man, we can all win. We can all win if we could being stupid. You know, that's all. Well, if you really want to know my opinion, and I know a lot of people, he's highly defended, he's highly hated at this point. But if you really want to know my opinion, I don't think he's a horrible person. I don't think he's transphobic, and I think that as any artist tends to be, when they reach a certain level and they're always told that they're great, they get very defensive when they're attacked, because when you kill it so many times, you go out on stage saying, well, this is just going to be another night. Why do that?
Yep.
And when that happens, you immediately think like, well, fuck, what's wrong with y'all? Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Maybe at some point he'll apologize and he'll see it, or maybe he won't. That's his business, man. But that's not my concern.
Yep.
Yeah, shit. I'm just waiting on the day somebody cancels me. I think about it all the time, and I'm ready for either to act. I'm ready for two things. I'm ready to actually say I'm sorry, yeah, I fucked up, or I'm ready to say, fuck all y'all. You ain't getting me on TV. I'm sorry for all the things I said. I ain't crying for y'all.
If something that I learned from the internet is never accept fault, pass blame to somebody else, and just ignore it, and you will still be fine.
Say that shit.
What the fuck?
What do you say?